Hello, and welcome to Rule of Thirds, a conversation about art, design, and culture, with your hosts,
Burns,
Mike,
and Jude.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod. Don't be shy to say hi. All right, now to the episode. This week, the guys discuss the importance and realities of giving back to your community. They also delve into how we, as artists, can forget that others may look to us as permission as we go about our day-to-day.
Come on. Episode 25, we're locked Episode 25, we're locked in. How we feeling? How we doing?
Together we made
I
it.
don't know where the energy came from.
We made
I was
it.
conserving
We
energy.
had our best up against the wall. Wow. To the road, to the limit, to the road. I don't even know the ad-lib.
And we took it on the road. Hey, I can't. That song is hard, you know. Wait, that was Busta Rhymes, wasn't it?
Rad. I don't even know who sang
I think
the
it was Linkin. Wasn't it Linkin Park? Wait, no.
I was really thinking Mr. Hudson. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh,
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait,
Anyway,
that song he had a few songs, you know. He made that song with Jay-Z, no?
nah, that was Ludacris
Sorry.
and Busta.
Mr. Hudson, wait. Is it what Mr. Hudson from, like, the one I made in Dobbs?
No, wait, what?
Yeah, that
Oh my
is
God,
it.
Fire.
But
Yeah.
Oh, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting.
wait. Oh, it was Linkin Park.
Yeah, it was Linkin Park.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to love that song.
I love Linkin Park. So the crossover
They have
with hip hop,
very, very
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we took
moment.
it on the road. On the road. On the road. Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, but guys, 25 episodes in.
Yeah, man. Thank God.
Round of applause.
That wasn't the... yeah.
This is our silver anniversary, apparently, according to Google.
Silver, yeah?
Celebrating
Woo.
a quarter century.
Jeez.
Quarter century of episodes.
Come on.
So if you'd like to bless us with silver,
Yeah, some seed.
diamond and
anything.
silver,
You get me?
shout out to Vico. Then thank you.
We'll put our what's the word? PayPal, not PayPal. What's the other one?
Flip.
The one that the girls use.
Oh, Cash App.
Cash App. Yeah.
We actually don't have one,
Yeah,
but...
we'll put our,
make one.
yeah,
I'm not making one.
No, we'll make it one.
You
So
can make one if you want.
yeah, we'll make our Cash App.
No, Americans pay.
Do they? Yo,
Like
yeah.
Americans pay.
If you might want to use our Cash App,
It's in their blood.
Yeah,
please, Cash App,
Please,
please.
please.
So us
Yeah.
people for Monzo here is a struggle.
We would like your monies.
Wait,
any
you got Monzo in America?
No.
Oh.
No, they don't do
What are you
like.
trying to do with Monzo? Wait, what?
It's
What kind of scam are you trying to run here?
They don't really do like money. I learned this from a friend. Like,
Fintech, kind of like...
but like even the way, like, from our banks we can
Digital-
transfer money anyhow.
They don't do
Apparently
that.
it's not a thing for them. That's why Cash App is so big.
Oh, that's
So like how would this
lazy.
be transferring? Oh yeah, from Santander to Barclays to Barclays
just-
to this. I don't know what they're doing there, but they're not doing anything right.
America.
I'm going wrong, innit?
Oh,
America.
Anyway, what are we saying?
Good, man. Good.
great.
You might live in America?
I want
Yes.
to. Actually, I still want to. You still want to.
Yes.
We've actually spoken about this.
So you do want to live in America?
Yeah.
But not for too long because NHS and that.
Yo, better just wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
You say?
I feel like there's so much risk in the country. Just being there is like a thrill.
Yeah.
Like just being in the country is like, ooh, yeah, I'm on edge. Adrenaline pumping.
Brother.
Our skin color already is a risk.
Well,
Oh,
it depends where you live in it, but
This is true.
I need to do my research if I'm ever to like proper like.
yeah.
live
You
there
should
or
go
not.
to like maybe I don't know Ohio or something.
I could do Miami.
Huh?
Yeah.
You look like you'd end up in Florida.
Me? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably would.
Ew.
Now, I've only been to LA and New York, so those are the places I know. But I think those are probably the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've been in it, yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Oh,
Hey, your phone's heavy, bro.
Sorry, it probably dropped to your ankle as well.
that was never on purpose.
Sorry.
Oh my days.
I feel like my phone got stuck to me anyway.
But
Saying.
the lifestyle, like I was reading the book on my way here, and like a guy, the guy's an American. He's from Portland, and man was like, "Oh, I go out for breakfast with my wife, like on bikes every Friday."
My wife.
And it's like in this UK, can we
Where?
say let's go on a bike
Where?
ride some in the
Where?
morning?
Yeah.
No, but it's
Oh no,
could,
but
you
it's,
could.
it's not. It's not. It
It's
doesn't
not-
have.
it's not romantic.
It doesn't have the same
and
je ne
the,
sais
the,
quoi.
the climate, the
I'll
climate
go,
is
I'll
not
go
like
on a
that.
Boris bike and then cycle and
Yeah,
swear
the
I have to
climate-
undock my bike, ride, dock it
Nah,
again.
You could do that. I can't lie. I know some people who would definitely are definitely on that,
Yeah.
but not in our demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, and that's another.
I feel
yeah.
like we haven't been gentrified that much.
Yeah,
But when we
yeah.
get there, we'll get there.
I hear you.
Portland's
Yeah.
nice as well, actually. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, it's more like it's probably similar to like London, I guess.
It was like gentrified.
but more like woody, apparently.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I need some nature in life. Other day I was saying I was a city boy, but I actually want to be a.
country boy.
Mm.
Country
I
bumpkin.
want to be in between. Suburban. Well, I'm a suburban boy too.
Baby, oh wait, no, that's Disturbia.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's
Disturbia. Actually, do you guys know where you'd want to live, like in the future? Suburbs, city.
Village.
Would you like to clarify village?
I
for
would like
us?
to live in a place where I can eat off the land.
Of course.
What do you mean? Of course,
That's giving me Kanye vibes.
Yeah, facts.
My man Muto, was it Wyoming or something? On the
yeah,
farms
like
and
that.
that.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel? I was actually watching a video today about creativity. Some next brother, he looked like Santa Claus, to be fair. Like yeah, no legit. But he was talking about just like being secluded. Apparently that actually no, some other brother actually, some bored brother. But he was talking about
Wait,
how,
you went from Santa Claus to
No,
brother.
because you know what happened? I was
Santa
watching it,
bold.
and then you know how it goes autoplay.
Yeah,
And then my man
that's
came
what-
on, so
okay,
it's the
okay,
same,
okay.
yeah, same lens. But basically saying how like creatives actually suffer when they live in silos. If I make so, like you know when you some people will be like, oh, I'm okay. Say you got an album or you got a project to do. I'm gonna move out to the countryside to get it done, but actually you get less
Right.
work done,
Right.
which is I found interesting. Do you know what I mean? So maybe the
Did they
area
say
that,
why?
lack of inspiration. Sometimes you're overthinking, and yeah, I think those were kind of the main things. So like, where if I was to move to another place,
Yeah.
it has to be a place where my creativity can still thrive.
Mm.
Because I don't know, like me being in some place where there's barely anybody there, I feel like I'll suffer, fam. In terms of like a creative,
Really?
yeah, I feel like I need like culture, I need environments. Like
Right.
yesterday, for example, not yesterday, sorry, I think last week.
That's what he said. That's what he
Oh,
said.
that's funny.
But yeah, last week, yeah.
Last week when I went to the game.
Yeah.
Was it last week? I think like 2
I
weeks
think it was
ago.
it.
Yeah,
It might
like
be-
2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
it might have been
Yeah.
2 weeks. What do you call it? I went to Hackney Wick afterwards, right?
Okay.
And I even seen the culture there. And so there's like a live band session, like just jamming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know this guy. Maybe I should. It's called Thundercat. Does anyone know Thundercat?
Oh, I love.
He was there.
I
Oh my God,
Yes, he
love-
was.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
he
saw-
was there.
Yeah,
Colour Factory.
I saw a friend post him
Huh?
and he was in shock. 'Cause he was
Huh?
like, what,
Brother,
what the hell?
What the
Some-
flip is Thundercat doing in London like
No,
that?
some guy.
Apparently
some
he's
guy
always just
literally-
a random gig.
Someone said, yeah.
He seems like that
yeah.
kind of guy, to be fair.
Some guy ran in. I thought it was a fight. The way he ran in, he literally moved the security guard, moved everybody just to go find him. But yeah, Thundercat was
What?
there. Yeah, it was crazy. I only found out that he's actually a massive guy.
He's a Grammy winning artist.
Yo,
Yeah, so Bear Man were gassed. But
love
like
this stuff.
even being that kind of environment,
Mm.
that can help your creativity so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're actually being inspired by people. So that's why, yeah, where I go, sometimes it has to be a place where I can actually see the culture, I can see the arts, I can actually immerse myself in that.
Would you say like because living in a place and visiting a place is different? Like I can
Yeah,
visit
yeah,
a place
that's
just
a
to
good point.
get inspiration
Yeah.
of where I want to live
Yeah.
and like situate my brain. Does that make sense? Like
Okay,
I don't want
need
that to be
that's,
somewhere
that
that's
I can drive
chaotic.
into somewhere close. That's I hear what
Oh
you're
right,
saying.
right.
In the same way, something like London. I'm only living in London because of my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I wasn't with my parents, I wouldn't be living in London because I can't
Right.
afford it. I would if I could afford it, but
Yeah.
I can't. So I would live in somewhere that I can get into London.
Right.
Likewise, if it's another country, if I can afford that city, I'll live in that city. If
Yeah.
not, I'll find somewhere that's close by that I can at least get in.
So why do you feel like you need to be like in the city though?
Cause I feel like that's where all the creativity is. I mean, all the big corporations are there. Like,
Yeah.
for example, BBC,
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the BBC, man. Amazing work. Wow.
Gang.
Honestly,
Get me.
amazing.
BBC, you
Thank
got
God's work.
Incredible.
Adidas, Nike, Warner,
Yeah.
The Guardian, gang.
Mm.
You get me?
Gang.
Mm.
Do you want to shout anymore?
Pentagram.
Are they in London?
Yeah, they are actually. Yeah.
They go see
Yeah, they got studio.
Yo, shout out to Pentagram. Doing
shout
God's
to
work.
Pentagram.
Honestly, like, amazing.
Uncle Eddie Opara.
Yeah.
Love you here.
Get me? LV. Yeah. Man's trying to get it.
Yo, I'm not. Yeah, you know,
Chuck them in.
a Cold War doing amazing
Rock
stuff.
Nation, Rock
Rock
Nation.
Nation.
Yeah. That Tiffany collab, yo,
Yeah, get me.
so crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, after all our brand sponsorships, everyone's based there. Think about it this way: Bear Man come to work in London because that's where all the best jobs are.
Right.
Yeah, but that's jobs. So, like I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
do you feel like living? Because right now we're working remotely.
Yeah.
Would you want to be in a place that is hustle bustle, or or could you work in a place that's like quiet, serene, and you actually get to breathe?
I need suburbs. Suburbs is probably the in between the. I say in between.
Yay.
If you were a rapper, if you're a rapper, you'd rap.
Between the countryside and the city.
Okay. I hear that.
So yeah, I probably would live there. To be fair,
Mm.
like even when I went to LA, I went to I was actually in the countryside.
Okay.
I forgot the place now, but it was like literally there was vineyards there, fam. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it was a bit booky because there's a massive house on the hill and there's like houses on the hill in like different places, but they're so far apart.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I
it
mean-
was a bit booky.
It's a massive place.
Yeah, it was a massive house. So if it was, because I was with a lot of people,
Mm.
I didn't feel weird. But if I was by myself with my wife and children,
What would you be scared of?
not scared, but I think that
Lonely.
comfort of like, hey, if something happens, my neighbors are right there.
Oh right.
Do
Okay.
you know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Mm.
Like you want a
I-
community. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I
Like
get that.
sometimes I love going out in my because it's neighborhoods. There's people there.
I don't know
There's
my
like-
neighbors. So
You don't know your neighbor. Well, fair enough. But yeah,
I don't think I've ever known my neighbors.
do you
Oh,
want to
wow.
have like a relationship with like neighbors? Like, do you want to be on the street where it's like,
The thing
good
is,
morning?
like, I feel like because this country is very antisocial in its approach.
Depends
to
where you
things,
live, you know.
My neighborhood is antisocial, so it's a thing where it's like I don't
Yeah.
want to have a relationship with someone on the basis of like because we live, but I want to actually
Generally,
like I want to like okay, I actually am interested in your life.
Okay.
If not, I'm not gonna try to force it. Like if I see you outside and you're doing something cool, I'm like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like sometimes the neighbor will pop out and be like, oh, I'm going to what's the word camping.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool, but I don't really care enough to be like, oh, tell me more, or we should talk about this. I don't want to
Right,
have a conversation
right,
with. Everybody's kind of like in their own house doing their own thing, so it's like that. But me personally, I just if it's gonna be a community, I want to be in a community that I can actually participate in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the difference. Like
Okay.
the
that's
suburbs, I feel like it's at a point of completion. And maybe I don't know if that's a very bad thing to think about. Maybe it's like
What do you mean? What do you mean
So
by
by
you
that?
want struggle?
No. See, that's what I
Come
want.
on,
I don't
man.
want to struggle, but I want to.
Elevate your man.
I want to be somewhere where there's a balance of like creating and also cultivating.
Right. So it's like I get you.
I
So
don't want to
it's-
only be
so-
taking.
Yeah. So a place that's
taking.
not, maybe not, for lack of a better term, like not fully. There's still things to do in terms of like contributing to the community. Things may not be as set in stone.
Yeah, kind of, but also like I don't know how to explain this, but it's like by choice you don't want everything to be overly developed. By choice.
Yes. Okay.
So it's not like
okay.
this is a piece of land. Let's build a skyscraper because we can. Like if it's
That's
not
where I
needed,
live right
it
now.
shouldn't be there. In my head, so it's like I want to
Yeah.
be in a place where it's like we only do what's needed and not because we can. We're not just doing things because vibes. You know, like it would be nice to be in a community where there's a gallery, there's a school,
Right.
there is a hospital, there's a park. That's it. Not much.
Mm.
Just chilling. Wouldn't that be nice? Sounds like
Yeah.
heaven to me.
Sounds like GTA to me.
Hey.
Whoa.
Oh, my days.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
What do you think are like essentials for like living?
Living.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nah. Like
You
in
say
terms of, like-
food.
Yeah.
wait, would you not cook by yourself?
No, but it's an essential. You asked me the essentials.
No, I mean, okay. I mean, in your
Like you're
where
not
you wanna
you're not gonna
yeah.
move to somewhere just because
foods.
of food.
Yeah. Like where?
Fam, if you live in the hood, yeah, you're eating chicken and chips from Molly's every day, and you want to live.
But I'm sure there's Tesco there.
Yeah, but if you can't afford a Tesco, then it's long.
Nah, if you could afford something from Mall, you can definitely afford.
Bro, trust me, £3 in this country.
£1 can
in
get
this
you
particular
can get you frozen chips.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's chips. Like maybe that's not a lifestyle you want to
Okay,
live.
okay, fair enough. I hear what you're saying.
Okay. Let's say like, okay.
Oh, but you guys are talking about something different, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Kind of like,
Never
would you
mind.
want like, because you know how some small, I guess like parents or couples are like, oh, when we have kids, we want to think about a good place that has a really good school, the
Yeah,
school
yeah, yeah.
districts and all that kind of stuff. Probably more like that.
Oh,
Like,
right, okay.
What are your requirements? To be fair, I don't really, do I even think about this as much as I should? I mean, it's still early days. I'm not looking to leave my mother's house anytime
Father
soon.
Michael
It's a
I'm not gonna lie. My friend's wedding,
made you fall in love, innit?
I want a son. I want a child.
That's cute.
It's just
Nah,
like,
I don't mind.
I think you should get a dog first, though.
I can potty train them.
I want to get it's called a cockapoo.
You want to get a what?
A cockapoo.
Where's your mind? Where's your
In the
mind?
gutter, clearly. No,
Ah!
no, wait.
Sorry. I had to
Have you
let
never heard of that?
Ah!
Have I ever heard of that? Have I ever heard of that? Wait, what?
Brother, I'm even capping.
A cocker
No.
spaniel
No.
and a poodle mixed.
No, I know what he's saying.
You sure about
It's
that?
dog.
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
it. But it's just the way you said, I want a cockapoo. I'm like,
Your man's in the gutter.
okay, so okay.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
are you
but,
thinking something?
oh,
Then what you think about?
Christ. Anyway,
Oh my.
so necessities of living. I feel like
Yo.
hospital. That's key.
That's funny. That's not funny at all. Sorry.
Yeah, that is not funny.
No.
You shouldn't have laughed.
You know what it is? I think because the crate challenge, like
Why
some
are you
weeks-
thinking
some
about
weeks
the
ago,
crate
like,
challenge?
because the tweets are funny. Someone was like, "Oh, don't you dare think about doing this here if your closest hospital is like Lewisham or something." So,
Yo, actually turned out.
No, Oh my gosh.
yo,
I'll see you in heaven.
no, so that's why. But yeah, no, that's important. That's very
Well,
important.
is it? Yeah, I guess it would help in Louis. Anyway, so yeah, hospital, school,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. Necessities.
Do you want any? I know you did say like a gallery. Or
I want,
something.
yeah. I feel like if I'm going to be in a community, I wanted to have a space for art,
Mm.
just because I feel like
Leicester has that. Leicester has a really nice.
no, there's Nottingham actually.
Nottingham,
yeah.
yeah.
They have like a local gallery. Like they
See,
have
it's-
like a few.
I'm not
actually.
surprised for like I think like small like cities outside of London,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm thinking now like in the places that I've grown up in London,
Yeah.
have I seen like a gallery or did I even know a gallery? To be fair, did I even know in the first place? Or is it a communal thing or is it more like
So you know how most communities have a town center, a town hall, like
definitely didn't go to mine.
you see what I'm saying? But like they should have something that's
Yeah,
a
I
town
definitely didn't.
town gallery. So for example, every community at least has one or two people who are interested in the arts or performance or
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like every community that's a necessity. You should be having a space where you can have conversation, have
Yeah,
dialogue,
yeah.
be able to facilitate maybe events for like the kids and the adults and whatever interests that they have. If you have a hall, for example, and I think it's lovely that most places have town halls where it's like you could go there and be like, oh, could I use this to do something on the weekend, or can I do this and do that? If we have something like that where it's like also a gallery, then you get to show artwork from the kids, from the grown-ups. Maybe you can even like specially invite artists to come and like show some work. I feel like it will inspire the people to think outside of just the realms of, oh, I'm from this neighborhood. There will be a pride of educate. Like I don't think education is only school. It's
I
one
agree,
kind of
I
thing,
agree,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. Yeah.
It goes beyond.
You need to stimulate other parts of the brain, and I feel like a gallery space will do that, because gallery spaces you can do music, you can do fashion, you can do art, from painting to design to.
Do you guys want to own something like that one day?
That would be so.
That's
oh my
literally
gosh.
like top 3 on my list of things to like own before I die. That was morbid. I'm so sorry.
No, it's the reality of life.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
we're all gonna die,
guys.
so you know.
We are finna die.
Hey, but yeah, that's definitely like top 3. Like,
I'm finna go heaven.
well, because you didn't get to Lewisham Hospital. Is that why?
Whoa,
Lewisham.
But yeah, I feel like that's definitely something that it's a necessity.
Mm.
What about you, man?
yes, this is a necessity. And it's very peak because we
You
live
say
in the
football,
UK.
okay, I thought you said
No,
I thought I was gonna say stadium.
Yeah, we need a stadium.
I mean,
Like the big one.
that too. But I will say definitely something that's like an Afro-Caribbean shop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need my culture. Like, I know in certain areas, like Kent, for example, that's now starting to rise up now.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of like, I think just
Most
because.
places have it as well.
Huh?
Most places have. Like,
Yeah, but I think when you
Some
find
places
it,
it's
when you
no.
find it, it's like, oh my gosh, heaven. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm getting like Mighty Mart or Super Mart or
Yeah.
Chin Chin or whatever, but it's like I can't get that from my Tesco. I mean, some Tesco's you can,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I
all.
hear what
You know
you're
what I mean?
saying.
Huh?
No, I'm saying I hear what you're saying.
yeah,
I hear what
like,
you're saying.
And I don't know, man. Like, this gives me good vibes, man. It's like having my own stuff there. Like
I hear that, man.
even for example, Uncle John's Bakery.
Oh yeah.
PPL.
You know what I mean, shout out. Even things like that. Like, for me, those places are like, ooh, almost like a gift.
Why don't you just move back to the country? Go back to the country you came from, eh?
I wasn't born in Ghana.
When you said in the last episode that you felt a way about certain people speaking your native language,
No, look, that doesn't mean that they don't
and
come
you
from.
want these people to come
No,
back
no, no,
home.
no, no, hold on.
That's a good point. You
Hey,
know?
nah, hear
You
me
want
out.
these people to come back
So hear
home
me-
and
hear
practice
me out,
your
hear me out.
language that can't pronounce properly.
No, the thing is,
Yeah,
yeah,
I hear
look,
what you're
I
saying.
have no issue because I'm not a gatekeeper. Never would I intend to be. My thing was that people shouldn't commercialize something if
Right.
they're not doing it correctly.
Okay, I get
That was
I
the
get
only
that.
the only angle I was coming from. Like, I have no issue. You can do whatever you want. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. You can do whatever you want. But don't go commercializing something if you're not gonna do it well. Especially if you're trying to represent a whole
I hear that.
group of people. But like, I feel like if you want to move back, like a lot of artists, there's a thing though. I feel like it's a conversation that I always struggle to have because I don't want it to come off as a savior complex.
This,
You know what I'm
this
saying?
bit, yeah, or like almost like another version of like colonialization.
Yeah, like, ooh, let me go and save them because I know.
Them man don't need saving.
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? I remember when I was younger and like people were coming from abroad. I was like, stop moving mad, like relax. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing you can do here. Like in my head, I was that like disheartened by the state of things.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't do anything. Just like enjoy your Christmas and go back home. Like that was my mindset.
Take your picture with your
You know what I'm
flashy
saying?
house and
Exactly.
your-
And yeah.
not all Africans live like this.
Yeah, like the huts are not like they're not like as if we don't have huts in Africa
Brother,
still.
there's hearts there.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel
Fam,
like
literally across the road.
it's such a like it's so disingenuous to be like, oh, this is the real Africa.
'cause
But then it's
not.
like such a privileged point to
Exactly.
say that huts are disgusting or huts are dirty or something.
Same way as like you go into London and go into like, I don't know, the most richest parts.
I know what you, yes.
Like a
and
Chelsea.
not going to
Yeah.
And they say, oh,
I'm not going to a
in
council
London.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Like I remember that reminds me of like
take a picture for
one of my uni, one of my
the bear man have to
what for the album artwork.
no, so
No,
that
legit.
that you
Call the song My Hood.
flip take. So no, that reminds me of someone I knew from uni when they came
Yeah.
to London. They were like, oh, like I really like London. I like going to like certain parts, but not the parts where like the streets are dirty and it looks a bit grimy. And I remember thinking in my head like, but babes, that's London.
That's
Like,
London.
That's
That is
really
really
London.
London.
Like
That's the real London.
as in that's probably where you're getting the most,
Yeah.
the best like
Yeah.
cultural experience of what London is like.
Polished turd. That's what
Wow.
Because it's like it looks nice on the outside till you actually. You know, funny. What I realized, yeah, if you go London High Street and you
Yeah.
go the street behind the street,
Oh, oh,
you're like,
The
hey,
ghetto.
where am I?
Oh, not that it's like
So where am I?
not that it's proper like dingy or anything, but like if you think about Liverpool Street
Hey.
or like Shoreditch and like the inner roads and like you see the market, some people be like, the freaking ghetto, what is this? But yeah, it's just two sides of London.
Yeah.
I'm saying like it's a
Facts.
facade, fam. But nah, yeah, I feel like galleries and all these things. I feel like
Yeah.
in terms of like people visiting, like we we're saying, I feel like it's good to go back. But again, the savior complex thing is a bit tricky because it's like you don't want to
Yeah.
go there. It doesn't have to even necessarily be in Africa. It could even be in London. Like a lot of people go and say like, yo, I'm going back to invest in my hood, but they don't live in the hood.
But what
And
does that,
there's a lot of
what does that
things-
look like, though?
As I always think about what that looks like as well, because
I know a lot of people say
is that
um,
is it realistic? Because
yeah.
it's like I think
You can't save
Which-
the hood. You can save a few people in the hood.
But then
That's
if
that's the thing.
I feel like
Because the way I see it is that, look, you say you're gonna save the hood, but you're not gonna save the hood. You're gonna save, like, it's okay to save maybe 10 people or 5 people. As long as you got one person out, that's enough. I think anyway.
I don't think it's enough.
No, like in terms of-
Wait, that sounds harsh.
I no,
it's
but like
what realistically they're not getting
So the
But-
thing,
all of them out.
But then one thing I will then ask is like, what does, I don't know, saving look like? Or are people really prepared
Was it just
to
giving them money? That's not enough.
Well, are
No,
people
no,
are people
no.
prepared to really do the work that
it takes.
it takes?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it's a
they-
two-way street.
I know, like, I used the example of faith in the last episode.
Yeah.
But again, I've been thinking a lot about church and the church structure and how people do things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, when we look at churches, are people really like ready to do the work that churches may need to do in order to like really rehabilitate people, or to really
Yeah.
be the place that we say, oh, it's for everybody, but what does it really mean for a place to be for everybody, or to say come as you are, or it's a place of not just like healing as in, like, physical healing, but like
Everything.
other
Yeah,
forms,
yeah,
or
yeah.
like it's supposed to be a safe space, or supposed
Yeah.
to be a community. And sometimes, especially in this generation, I kind of feel like we don't really know how much work really goes into stuff. Or when we say stuff like even like people that have like certain events and they're like, oh, we want to create a change, or we want to, you know, let's say for example in the creative industry, like we want to create like an environment where people can learn, where people can build, and then, oh yeah, we get them job opportunities and all that stuff. But sometimes I'm like, do you guys really know like the work that goes on in order to make these things happen? Because it's not just, it's not a thing of just, oh, we throw events
Yeah.
and it
Bro,
stops
that
there.
is so
Like there's
amazing.
so much more that one would have to do in order to like
Carryover is
facilitate
important. Yeah,
people.
yeah, of
Exactly.
course.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do we really know, like, okay, to quote unquote save people in the hood, like,
Yeah.
do you really know how much work that involves? Because most times people, especially when money is involved, the baller that you think you want to be, like this money and this flashy lifestyle that you want to do while saving the hood may not go hand in hand.
Thank you for supporting us by listening. Be sure to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag #RuleOfThirdsPod. Enjoy the rest of the conversation.
Like what you said was so good, in the sense of like people put on these events and actually don't realize what it takes. So even I was reading that magazine, Wallpaper, the one I recommended, or the news app, and then Wallpaper's
Yeah.
obviously in it. And this quote is from somebody, what is it? So I believe it's from someone from DID, which is sort of diversity in design kind of like group
Yeah.
in America. And this woman basically said this quote saying that black people account for 4.9% of the design industry. I think this is maybe in America, all because there's no pathway. There are sophomores and juniors in high school who have no idea what the concept of designing is, and they certainly don't know that there are careers in design. Design is not in the classroom as widely as it needs to be. So what they're now doing is basically putting people to actually open them up to actually educational design. So I mean, so people say that, oh, I'm gonna get people out of the hood, and they'll put like, oh, everyone says youth clubs.
There is a lot of youth clubs.
I understand, but like that's not the only thing that can change.
But
You know what I
that's
mean?
that's what they. You see, unfortunately, most of these people who are saying I'm gonna go back, like the entertainers,
Yeah,
that's what they know. They're not like, it's almost like,
but then I think the good model of it right now is probably Stormzy. Stormzy's probably the one that's done it
yeah,
the
but
best.
Stormzy is quite educated.
Yeah, true.
Like,
True.
it-
He's not like some. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The average entertainer, it's
Yeah,
either they're not
yeah.
they're
You're
not
right.
exposed
Yeah,
to a lot
yeah.
of these things. So
You're right.
Even
like-
the infrastructure as well. Like
Yeah.
I feel like, because it's easy to do certain things. Like I'm probably thinking more about American side. Like, oh, it's easy to do like a food drive because it's food, or cool. Like if it comes to like COVID vaccinations or testing, we can get that sort, because like it's an easier thing to kind of implement.
Yeah.
But then, for example, for like Stormzy's thing with like, let's say with Oxbridge,
yeah,
or even with like Murky Books and stuff, like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things had to be built in, and he had to have the teams and stuff around him in order to
like we were saying,
carry
infrastructure.
all of that out. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
But so I'm saying, like, I feel like it's interesting because when I was thinking of like, oh, they go back to kind of not necessarily save, but like they go back to their communities to help out. Youth clubs definitely popped up in my head because that's what most of them are known for. Mainly because a lot of youth clubs are being closed. So
Have been for a while,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? A lot of people grew up with
clubs.
youth
Like
clubs.
so many
Clubs
cuts.
definitely helped.
know what I'm saying? A lot of
and
people.
Yeah.
they still do help. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's not it has to be there, but I'm saying that
It's not the only thing.
yeah, I feel like when, and again it goes back to us being lazy with sometimes our approaches. We're not thinking about things. So like, for example, we're talking about maybe church context and stuff. Like, if you want to make change, unfortunately, you're gonna have to go through that hard
Fam.
like research. You have to understand,
Right.
and that research don't go by yourself. Obviously, get a team together. Do you know what I mean? But like again, all these things takes work. I feel like a lot of the ideas that can actually happen, people are probably scared to do it because no one's done it before.
Yeah. It's probably not gonna look as textbook or as normal as like, it's not like business as usual, I guess. Like, I feel like
No,
for us to, like, even when we think about all of these like world issues and the solutions to a lot of these world issues, a lot of it is not going to be like what we have done in the past, because we've probably seen that some of these things either don't work, or to sustain it can be difficult. So we need something different. And I feel like for a lot of these things, we do need to implement something different, but then it's like putting the work in. It can't be a thing of, because it's good to have like the inspiration and the passion for it, and that's great, but it's like some of these things, is that really going to keep you for like the long haul? It's like sometimes as this generation, we're very quick to act, but then it's like a lot of the thinking and other stuff comes after all of
The
that.
longevity of it.
Yeah.
No, I definitely hear you, because like my thing is, I feel like a lot of these entertainers or people who end up saying I want to go back and change my community and blah blah aren't necessarily the people who should be the visionaries.
This bit as
behind
well,
it.
yeah.
do you
I'll
feel like
be-
they're
I'll
forced?
be
They're
real.
forced to.
No, of course not. No one forces
No,
them.
but I feel like there's an element of like truth to that, because
being forced to do to go
Well,
and
like,
make changes.
it's kind of like, because you are in a position of power,
Yeah.
and because you may have the clout, and because you're in a completely different situation now to people maybe in your community,
Yeah.
maybe you can do something. So like, for example,
but, like-
everyone was like, oh, when Stormzy was doing like the whole sponsoring, kids to go to, or young adults to go to Oxbridge.
Yeah.
And I remember people saying stuff like, oh, why?
Oxbridge, yeah.
Yeah, Oxford and Cambridge.
Okay.
I think it's both. Is it both?
I think it's Cambridge.
Oh, Cambridge, yeah, my bad. But
Actually, wait,
I feel like it's Oxford.
nah,
It's
it's
one
not.
of one of
for
the-
one
yeah,
of them,
one of them,
yeah.
yeah.
So like, I remember people like, oh, what about like working class white boys, because they are a
Oh, yeah.
demographic that's forgotten about in education. Then somebody else is now like, why don't you go and at Adele or at Ed
Yes, that's
Sheeran
not his-
about it? But it's
That's the pressure again.
yeah. But it's like there's always like why don't you guys do this, because you're in the position
Yeah.
to do this. So that's why I agree
Is
with
that
Burns,
someone like even like Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. And you see where I'm going with this.
eating his
So
Bitcoin.
he's now made this humanoid or whatever robot
Oh yeah.
kind of thing, innit? And it's that he's the kind of person like he's got so much money that he just does whatever now, innit? Like he can just experiment with stuff now.
Yeah.
And someone will be like to him, if you got all this money, why don't you find a cure for cancer?
Same with Jeff
but
Bezos as
see,
well.
See that one there, yeah, that's a whole different ballgame, because I understand that most of the people, like, you have to have an actual you have to have compassion to the community that you grew up in.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he services the people in his tax bracket and people he grew up with in terms of like getting them special deals.
Maybe,
and, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, they have their own.
It's just that it's a different
different
group
world.
of people.
Yeah. But I'm talking about, like, for example, a Stormzy isn't going to sit down and say, I am going to be the head of Murky Books and I'm going to be the person who writes the books and I'm going to be like, they hire people. They're in that position to empower other people. So my point is, if someone says, I'm gonna enrich my neighborhood that I grew up from, I'm not expecting them to go and stand in the youth club with a hammer and nailing like the roof. I'd expect them to be like, yo, let me hire an amazing designer, architect to design something that works in tandem with the neighborhood and how like the neighborhood is. So it's like, for example, you won't build the same thing you build in, like, if you build something in Islington, you're not going to build that same thing in, I don't know, Eton or something. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because they're different communities.
It wouldn't serve that same purpose.
Exactly. So it's like, I feel like those people who come out of those communities understand the community and how it runs, have conversations and dialogues with creators, designers, architects, photographers, whatever, and feed their idea. Same way you'd hire like a designer to do some design work.
Because they're the professional. And stuff
Exactly.
that
But I
makes
feel like
sense.
that a lot of times when people say, yo, I'm gonna invest, people think that it's actually the person like Stormzy actually going there and handing the money like, hey, congratulations, there you go. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that there has to be a clear understanding that there are people who actually know how to do this. But the thing is, or more so a question, is that as designers ourselves, because most of the time we're never in that position to be the people with the money and in excess that we can do whatever. So it's almost like an imbalance of like, okay, we're never going to be able to express ourselves to the fullest. But would we be able to do that without the l'argent?
Right. I think we can. I think that's something that from our conversation last week and then just like in general, like things that I guess we've all been thinking about in our own way. I know I have as well. I guess it's thinking about how to do it at a scale or at like a pace that's appropriate for us. Because like you said, there may not be as many resources or as much like mullah as certain people, you know,
Yeah.
celebrities and all that kind of stuff. Because that's something that I actually have been trying to like figure out for me. So it's like, okay, I know I want to help people, especially when it comes to design or like showing people that, okay, you cool, you can be a designer too or creative. And like conversations I have with people, especially if I see certain things, I'm like, oh no, you can do that. Or there's this resource, or maybe there's this application or this grant or this scheme. And I'm trying to like share that kind of information.
Yeah.
But I have found myself at times maybe like over promising and under delivering. That's something I'm really trying to work on because it's not cool if you're saying, because it's like the passion and the empathy, you're like, oh, I feel you, like want to help you any way I can. But then the reality of the situation is I'm trying to figure me out as well.
Yeah, right now I'm not ready.
And
Yeah.
bro, like I remember, I think you mentioned it, Burns, last week, like, or no, maybe it was you, that Jude, that said, almost like, how can you help someone when you can't, when you need help yourself?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, especially
Can't
around
give
the
what you don't have to.
exactly. I remember, like, at the time as well, like mentor mentee relationships, and I didn't really have like a mentor mentee relationship for myself where I was the mentee,
Right.
but then I was on something where I was supposed to be not where I am still a mentor to somebody else, and it was almost like I didn't know how to best serve that person because I was trying to figure out my stuff still. So I think it's just trying to manage expectation, but also I guess even it can be small as well. It doesn't have to be like super
you
huge.
have to
I
save
think
them like
I think that's what
you know.
we probably. I know I've probably done myself a disservice. Like, oh, you now have to think of some grand idea to like save 1,000 people and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, no, sometimes start like with the one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's just having conversations about stuff, you don't have to say, oh, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, but at least
like
just,
planning their whole life. or
you know,
something,
even if it's just been a form of encouragement, like, oh, or just to check in, oh, how's this going? Like, is this going good? Share some resources if you know that any that are available. I think even if it's something that's small, that's a way to do it. And I guess even with like you said as well in the previous episode, with just like using our work as something that can bridge the gap in certain conversations, maybe even like using our work to just showcase that, hey, there are other possibilities here, or show like people seeing something that we have. I'm sure like there's things that people that have seen from us that we've all created that have, you know, caused people to think, oh, mad, like I never knew we could do this, or oh, design, what's this, or oh, photography, or oh, like how did you do that? And it shows them, you know, that's another form of representation because they've seen that we've been able to do it, so they kind of realize, oh, deep down maybe it doesn't even have to be like related to design or anything. Like, oh, maybe I could do like my thing too.
That's mad important because I think something that we never speak about in like design circles is like permission.
Yeah.
A lot of our work, like I know for a fact that growing up, a lot of work that I saw allowed me to do things.
Yes.
And we don't, and like sometimes we like, it's so hilarious because sometimes I would like, can I do this? No, it's not really designed though. People are like, oh no, that's not, it's not. But it's like being able to be someone else's excuse to do something.
Yeah.
Is sometimes way more than actually putting money in their own pocket because
Facts.
you allow them to find a way to figure it out themselves. So you don't have to have it all figured out. But the courage that it takes to be brave on a daily basis and say, look, I'm actually gonna do this. I know it could flop, but I'm still gonna do it. and
That's
being
something, yeah.
being that brave.
Mm.
Like I know for a fact that people have hit me up and said, like, yo, your
Yeah.
work inspired me, not because it was the coolest thing I've ever seen,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
because
Yep.
you did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Today I was literally,
You know what I'm saying?
I was walking, I was like, rah, like, actually, I need to stop thinking, I need to do it in a certain way. Just release it.
Just do the work. Like,
I mean, and when I say just release, it doesn't have to be poor quality.
yeah.
But when I say release it, don't
Yeah.
be scared of the reaction.
Yes.
Because how can you even test the waters if you don't have?
if you're not even, you know,
if you're trying to do everything perfect,
real.
but you can't test the waters like that, man.
that's very, very true.
It was interesting. What's the name? Ollie and Frank.
Yeah.
shout
Shout
out.
out to them.
'cause
My
they-
G's.
They dropped
Squad.
something. They usually drop something called Design Rule, where they were like, embrace your bad ideas.
Yeah.
And they were just talking about having like the courage to kind of just, say this is cool, but I have to get it out of my system.
Right.
And sometimes, because obviously that's a very private moment for a lot of designers, and we don't really necessarily get to see that on a wide scale. So it makes it seem like people are coming out prim proper on a perfect thing. Like, yo, like I just wake up in the morning, bam, 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 I'm banging them out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very, very easy to fall into that kind of like, yeah, this guy doesn't do anything wrong, does he? Kind of vibe.
Oh, I definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, of course, I'm not saying go out and put things out that you're not happy with.
Yeah.
Please, if it's bad and you know it's bad,
Don't
you don't have to
release
put
that,
it out.
yeah,
But
by force.
do it. Like, get it out of your system, put it on your computer, whatever.
Yeah.
But the if you are that kind of person, or you feel like it's on your heart to be a person that in maybe the near future or even right now in the present, you're trying to inspire a community or people that you know for a fact that you are an influence to people, you have to be very, very aware of your privilege. It's almost like that Spider-Man quote, with great power. You know what I'm saying? So if you have that, you need to be able to nurture that with love and humility. You can't be too rough with it, and you have to understand that people are watching you and they're watching your step.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't be jumping 20 steps ahead.
Yeah.
You have to be able to show them step 1,
Yeah.
step 2, step
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And it sucks because some people don't want to put work out that they're not happy with because they know people are watching. But it's like if you know that people are watching and you're being a source of inspiration and you're building a community, then you have to be able to. And I know a few people, like a few guys. I think even Samson, the rapper, for example. Like he has a Twitch channel. I think it's Twitch or Discord, one of them.
Just released 22.
Yeah.
Or stream that.
And he's been able to create a space where he can have conversations with people who actually listen to his music,
That's dope.
and he can be able to express his vulnerability in that space. Because
Was you at his listening party?
I didn't get to go. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if you are aware that you are in the forefront and you've been able to be brave enough to stand in front there, you should be able to understand that there is a lot of power that comes with it, and you need to facilitate. That I'm saying, it doesn't have to be on Instagram. A lot of people, the moment you start talking about this, everyone starts thinking Instagram. Oh, I need to post. But it could be a text group. It could be a WhatsApp group. It could be a forum on Reddit. Like, a lot of people forget that other spaces exist.
Even like text.
Yeah, like there's so many different ways to reach out to your community and people that for a fact are taking in what you make, and that's very, very important. I feel like a lot of creators, designers, artists, whatever, we don't appreciate the position and power that we have, and we take it for granted, and people fall off in terms of they're like, you know what, I'm not really feeling this, I'm not even gonna follow him, I'm gonna unfollow him. Like, I know for a fact I've unfollowed people because I thought their work was too good. And that sounds mad weird. But the reason why is because it was discouraging me in my journey where I was.
Yeah.
Because
Makes
it was
sense.
too far for me. It
Makes
didn't
sense.
seem attainable. And I didn't want to get discouraged in my little steps that I was doing.
You're guarding your heart.
Yeah, exactly. If you love someone's work so much, you want to be able to know that they love you back, kind of thing. And if they're just like, I'm just flying, must going. It seems like a relationship that you want to be in, but the person doesn't want you, type thing, And I'm not saying again that post your mistakes, but let them know that you are human.
Facts. It takes the pressure off as well, like of being so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so mad because literally, as you said, that I'm thinking about the people who have given me permission to be me. I'm just like, wow, and that's why when I think of my favorite creatives, artists, whatever, there's an element of that with all of them because they've allowed me to feel like, okay, I can do that too. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was either you, Buns, or you, Eugene, that shared Sean Brown's.
Oh,
Was it Eugene? Who was it?
it's his carpets and that.
His carpets, as well as like he's got a book of like.
Oh no, it was Jude.
iPhones. It was you.
It was a book of like iMessage.
iMessage, like iPhotos.
Oh yeah.
So like Sean Brown, for example, like he's one of the people that I like. Where did I find him? I think last year, beginning of lockdown, when he like did his rugs, and I was like, oh, this is amazing, cool. Then I saw like there's a video where he kind of did a really cool video explaining what he does, and seeing all of his personal projects that have now become like products and stuff. I was like, this guy literally just like does whatever he wants. I want to do that one day, and so I've like been following him since, and I've just appreciated seeing that from him. But then I think of other like there are a lot of like black men, especially like black British men that I looked to like back in the day. There was a guy called like Charlie Van Purps who used to do like fashion and style back in the like he still does it now, but at the time like I didn't really see many other black men like doing it like him, and I was like, oh, that's like really cool seeing like black guy just be like that expressive with his style. There was another guy called Ezekiel. I think he had like a vintage clothing shop thing at one point. With the X,
I follow him.
Yeah.
He's gone go. I think he's launching something though.
I feel like he's got a lot like
been launching it for,
coming up.
Time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, like
Either way.
because he had like, he's doing his fashion brand, and then also like he's a director.
I remember, I saw him direct.
Yeah.
Things.
So like I'm seeing that like even though there was
He's
a time
got
like he
something interesting,
ghosted and stuff.
He spoke about something interesting. Like literally, I think maybe a few months ago, but I think he posted something on his story base saying how like he's been rejected by a lot of people because he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's another conversation, but yeah,
It's the same conversation.
yeah, true.
Because like he posted that,
Yeah,
you know,
Mm.
and like you know how Michael is speaking with such adoration as well. It's like this guy is doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
But like to be able to recognize that he's saying like, look, for all the people who feel like they're weird like me, or they're also in a very
It's how I
awkward
feel as
space. Trust me, like they're doing the same thing to me, but we'll overcome. Like, don't worry, we're all in this together, type thing. You know?
yeah.
It's wild because literally like it's like a cycle thing.
Yeah.
Like there are people that are our, you know, who give us permission to be us, and then we give permission to other people to do what they need to do. So just like thinking about that, because
Very cyclical. Yeah.
it's wild. Like I remember having a conversation with a woman named Vic, another creative. She
Shout out
like
to Vic.
listens to the pod. Thank you. And she mentioned like, oh, how do you kind of like? She asked me like, how do you go about like creating things, but you don't want to step on toes, but you feel like you need to express that subject matter and stuff. And yeah, we had like a quick conversation about it, and it's literally like as I'm thinking about it now, I'm just like, wow, I know like some work I really want to get into.
Yeah.
I want to explore that more, especially like just exploring areas that are a bit like grey or maybe we don't talk about or discuss much.
Yeah.
And like literally, I remember that conversation is even like giving me more like permission in a way to kind of like, cool, let's do it, because I need it as well as other people needing it as well. So it's just very, wow.
I could imagine, like Michael was saying, because sometimes we ourselves, like we ourselves are trying to figure out what, like, if we can give ourselves permission. So it feels weird to say, oh, you can do it, but I can't even do it myself.
Right.
Okay, cool.
You know,
I get what you mean.
because it's like someone come to me like, yo, I really like. I remember one time someone came in, they're like, they want to record, they want to direct a dance video,
Okay.
but the dance video is based on a short film.
Oh.
So I was kind of like, I wouldn't do it because it's not my thing. But I was like, yeah, do it,
Yeah.
and it did
So
it.
it's almost like they needed the affirmation or
You know what I'm
confirmation
saying?
from you to like.
Because they look up to someone and not in a cocky or like
Yeah,
flamboyant way.
No,
but
no,
like
no, no.
if they trust your judgment in the particular space, they're like, what do you think about it? Is this a good idea?
But that's a place of humility and the place of like, actually wisdom, because it's like, oh, this person actually good at what they do, so I trust their.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if they say okay, this is bad, because I remember, like, sometimes I have conversations with some of my friends. They'll come to me, and these are people who are very affluent in their spaces.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll be like, yo, bro, what do you think about this? And I'll be like, I feel like this is great. You could maybe tweak this or tweak that. And they'll be like, thank you. And we take those moments for granted because we don't understand how much we've actually, because it might be 5 minutes. Like a friend of mine sent me a voice note like I think I want to say a week ago, and she was saying how she like appreciates the fact that I've been able to be patient with her idea.
Yeah.
You know, because on the outside it might be very easy to be like, this is what it is, but behind the scenes, that's when you see all the clips and the
Fam,
pins.
there's a
and,
lot
like,
of
things that are holding things together.
Yes.
And it's like it's very difficult for people to come to you and be that vulnerable. So if someone comes to you and says, yo, what do you think about, like, if someone comes to you and plays a song that they've made in their bedroom or something,
Bro, yeah.
you know, or
Yeah.
show you like a photography project that they've not shown anybody, that's very personal, maybe like,
that is a lot.
you know what I'm saying, it's such
lot.
a it's a
It is very intimate
Yeah.
like, when you deep it. Like
God man
yeah,
moment.
that's like a part of you that you're sharing, like that you've worked so hard on. Like, boy,
Like,
yeah,
even me
yeah,
doing this thing right now is like,
yeah.
I don't want someone to turn around and say that that's trash.
That's right. Yeah.
Even sharing, it's like, oh, kind of like you're laying yourself bare out there. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like
Yeah.
this is something
'Cause-
I'm doing.
Our creativity is attached to our DNA,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And it's very hard to detach it sometimes.
Yeah.
We hold it so close to our heart because it's like, this is my idea. So if someone says this is trash, it means I'm trash.
Yeah.
Which is not true, but it's like that's how much it means to us, you know.
Yeah, it's very synonymous. Like, it's like that whole ego thing, and it's interesting because I would say that if someone can trust you enough, you need to find that balance between knowing how to say, it's a great idea, we can do this to make it even better.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's a great idea, but it's not good. Or it's a great idea, but change this. But it's like, it's a great idea, we can make it better. Then you take away that doubt of like, oh, but there was a but though. Oh, but this and that.
Yeah.
Because then you create a space where they feel comfortable to know that you can criticize them out of love and out of actually, because like this, I always tell people, like, I like to work wholesome. And
What
that,
do you mean
like,
by that?
in a way that I like to work in a very complete way. I want to know what your idea was, what were you thinking about,
Okay.
and then where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
So me, I hate coming in halfway through a project,
Right.
and just like, because for me, I feel like I'm not really in it. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. And like, to see some people come to me and be like, yo, I have this idea, I haven't started it yet, but I'm really thinking about blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm genuinely very happy and very excited. And I think sometimes it gets away from me. I forget that this is someone else's idea. I take it so personal. I'm like, this is amazing, let's do it. And I'll be on their case. I'll be like, yo, have you finished? Like, what were we saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is, yeah, like, the moment you get to that point as a creator or as a designer or whatever, you allow people to feel very vulnerable around you because they know that you're going to be harsh, but for the sake of the betterment
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
idea.
You're not being malicious.
For the
You know
sake of
what
the
I'm
art,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, because the thing is, if we pull away ourselves from the people that we're serving, it makes it difficult. Because now when someone pops up to you and says, yo, I really like your stuff, I've been trying to do this, that, you're like, yeah, that's cool, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, we'll all get there. We're all working our way to the top, kind of thing.
mad.
If you start giving off that vibe, people start to, one, you're creating doubt in someone else's creativity, which is unfair. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, type thing. You know, and if it's not like any bad idea has room for growth, and if you can't service that growth, then walk away from it. That's my thing. It's like, if someone's idea is bad, like, I would rather say, yo, Burns, Mike's idea was bad to you, and then tell Michael, yo, Michael, we can make this idea better. Because if I go to Michael and just say, yo, Michael, that idea was bad, automatically in your brain you shut down, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? You're
personal.
like, yeah, because like, I can tell Burns, yo, that idea wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
Burns won't take it personal. He'll be like, I can see where you're coming from, blah blah blah.
So I'll work on it.
You know what I'm saying? But if I tell you,
But the thing is, though, that's another thing as well. My girlfriend, she's like my sound.
too.
She's like my soundboard, fam. So it's like I always send her stuff, and I'm like, yo, what do you think? And what? So back in the day, I can't lie, she gave me some brutal.
He's like,
But like, what I love now that she always gives me constructive criticism. So it's like, okay, this is
it's nice.
this is good, but maybe try
Yeah,
this.
we tried this one. Yeah,
And she's not a designer, but I appreciate her creative eye. Do you know what I mean?
Trust
So it's
it as
like,
well.
yeah, I need to trust. I feel like she's not trying to break me down,
Right.
but she's trying to help me, trying to lift me up one more time. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that does plays a big part in being better.
we all need that. We all need people around us that we know that we can go to and be like 100%, vulnerable.
Yeah, facts. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's episode of Rule of Thirds. Feel free to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag RuleOfThirdspod. And for more from us, follow us on Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod, or our personal accounts for myself, Burns JNR,
Mike at _ man like Mike.
And Jude at Kente Kwame.
Catch you guys in the next one.